Okay, I don't know if this is going to work again, but we will give her a go. So hopefully this is working. Hopefully you can, uh, let's see here. Let's see here. Well, I am not sure which microphone it's using, so hopefully this is going to pick it up. So we're just going to move around a little bit. Nothing too serious here. Okay, maybe this will work. Maybe we will have figured this out. Okay, so we're just gonna get started here. Like, get your mat in a nice, comfortable position. You want to make sure you've got blocks if you need them, water if you need them. We're not going to do anything too big or scary tonight. We're just going to take it easy, mostly standing flow today. So, in a nice kind of standing position, bring those legs about hip distance. Relax your shoulders, soften the chest, soften the belly. And just breathe. I'm just going to take a moment here. If you need to find a little wiggle, if you need to find a little movement as you get yourself settled in here, give yourself a chance to do that. Maybe let your eyes close. And again, we're just settling into this space here. We just kind of feel maybe it's that sense of relief, that sense of relaxation, wherever you're kind of catching this in your day. If it's at the end of your day, welcome. If it's more in the beginning, the middle, however that is. And then we're just going to focus on feeling our breath. So breathing in, feeling that chest and that belly rise. And then as you breathe out, let it relax. So again, soften through the shoulders, eyes relaxed, whether that's eyes closed or just kind of relaxing the eyelids, whatever floats your boat tonight, whatever's going to feel safe to you. And then real big breaths in, and then let it go. Just nice and easy. And if maybe a big breath doesn't really feel good to you tonight, you could always just slow it down. Maybe it's just focusing on and breathing in, I'm breathing out. Maybe you just aren't at that space yet for a really deep breath in and out. And let yourself just be in this space here. Let yourself take some time. Let yourself just find the energy of what you need tonight. And then let's start to bring some movement into those shoulders. We're just going to roll them up and back here. Take your time. You want to let them start to come a little bit bigger. Let yourself start to come a little bit bigger. And just relax. If you need to make some noise with that breath, make some noise. Let yourself just kind of release what you need to release. Good. We're going to reverse that. Roll those shoulders forward again. Big, small, somewhere in between, whatever's going to feel good, feel right to you. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in and out. Just taking your time here. Let your head relax. However that feels good. So we're going to drop that right ear to our shoulder. Maybe let that left ear kind of relax. Or it doesn't really matter. We're going to both sides. So whatever ear dropped first. And then we're going to go to that other side. And just kind of feel that opposite shoulder just relax and sink. Good. And then back to the center. And let's bring the chin side to side. So we're going to reach that chin towards the shoulder as we just kind of slowly move it back and forth here. And just really take your time. You don't need to rush through anything. Good. And then we're going to bring it over to one shoulder and hold. And then let's bring it to the other shoulder and hold. Wonderful. Back to the center. And then as we breathe in, let's send those arms up and overhead. So both arms extend. We're going to start to reach those fingertips up toward the ceiling. And if you want to drop that opposite elbow, start to find a little bigger side stretch, a little bigger reach, you certainly can. But let yourself find what's going to feel good here. We're going to bring that right arm up and overhead. Let that left hand just kind of relax to the side. Find a nice big side stretch. Awesome. Let's go to that other side. So right arm drops down. Left arm's going to reach up and over. Good. And then we're going to go back to the center. Let's draw the arms back behind us. We're going to start to focus on stretching through that chest. So whether we want to bring both hands back behind, whether we're just squeezing the arms to the back, feel that chest open. Bring those shoulder blades towards our spine. Relax through the shoulders. Breathe it here. Good. And then relax the arms. Take a moment, a little wiggle, a little stretch. Draw that right arm across. Let's feel that nice big stretch here. Good. And then we'll go to the other side. Again, same thing, nice big side stretch here. Awesome. All right, so we're going to bring the feet about hip distance here. No, I'm sorry, shoulder distance, so just a little bit wider. We're going to circle it out. So I started to the right, and you can kind of circle however feels good to you. If you want to keep it a little bit smaller, I'm going to keep it a little bit smaller. I'm going to keep my knees nice and soft. We're just moving those hips around. If you want a little bit bigger, think about it. Hinge in the hips as you send that rear end across the back, and then maybe pressing those hips forward as you come around to the front. And if it's more of a square, more of an oval, that's okay. That's all we're looking for here. Awesome. And then we're going to switch, start to take that circle going in the other direction. Just take a moment here. Breathe it in and out. All right, so find that nice standing position here. We're just going to find a little side to side. Just keep it nice and relaxed. Again, soften through the knee. We're not going to be too, again, this is just warming everything up. We're starting with just a little gentler side to side, a little gentler, almost side lunge. Then we'll come back to the center. I want you to step your feet as wide as you feel comfortable. Toes should be going in the same direction as our chest. Hands can stay to the hips. We're still going to find that side to side here. So let yourself just kind of slow and easy take it side to side. Hands can come to heart center if that feels good. You can grab the wall or bring a chair in front if that support and stability is what you need tonight. You want to find more of a little bit of a hold. Maybe hands come to the top of the legs. Let yourself just kind of find some movement to those inner thighs. Good. Keeping the legs wide. We're just going to turn the toes out just a little bit. Arms up and overhead. We're going to drop into a little bit of a squat. Elbows are going to come into our sides. So again, keep it nice and small if that's what the body needs today. Drop it a little lower if that's what we've got. What are we noticing? Chest stays tall. Seat drops straight down. Knees are going to press out towards our toes. If adding the arms is too much on the shoulders, if it's getting us too warm too fast, bring those hands to heart center. This is always about what's going to feel good to you, what's going to feel good in your body. So take your time here. Use your breath to kind of guide the movements for you as well. Now we're going to go straight into some big circles. So arms up and overhead, and then draw into a nice circle. Again, same. Hands come to heart center if that's too much. Keeping it a little smaller circle, a little smaller squat. Take a moment, check in with yourself. Check in with your body here. Let yourself move in whatever way feels good to you. Wonderful. Nice. And then we're going to come back up to standing. Legs stay wide for just a moment more. Relax through the knees. Let's drop that shoulder to the center. Again, doesn't matter which shoulder, we're on both sides. Awesome, let's go to the other shoulder here. Good. And then back up nice and tall. Slowly, we're going to step those feet back together, bringing them hip distance, a little wider, a little narrower, what feels good. Breathing in, arms come up and overhead. Let's link the fingers, press the palms up toward the ceiling. Breathing out here. If you want to find a little side to side, if that feels good, let yourself do that. Awesome. Back to the center, releasing the hands nice and slow. Bring those elbows wide. You're going to find that spot where it feels like we're starting to squeeze the elbows back behind us. We're not going to touch. That's not what we need. But again, we're opening up that chest, opening up the front of the shoulders. Wonderful counter stretch if we're trying to counterbalance phone work, computer work, driving, all that good stuff. Awesome. Slowly, arms are going to come down to our side. And again, inhale, sending those arms up. One more time, bringing the palms or the fingers together, palms up toward the ceiling. And now, keeping the arms straight, we're going to reach them out to the front here. Relax the chin towards our chest. Let yourself breathe just a little bit here. Good. And then we'll just slowly bring the arms all the way down. Take a moment, wiggle, shake the arms out. If you need to roll the shoulders a little bit, you can certainly do that. Again, still standing. We're going to bring the feet just a little bit closer together. We're going to take a chair flow here for just a minute. So again, inhale, arms come up. On that exhale, hands come through to heart center. Drop back into those hips. Remember, we're sitting back into a chair or sitting back into the edge of that bar stool, whatever feels the best for us. Find that little bit of a hold. Wonderful. Good. Inhale, reaching those arms up. And again, exhale, hands through to heart center if we can, keeping those legs kind of glued together down the center. We're just going to pulse those inner thighs towards each other. Not going to be a big movement. You're not going to see anything, but you should feel something inside those inner thighs. They're just like little mini high fives here. Last 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. One more time into that chair. We're going to finish with a little bit of a twist. So as we come into chair, we're going to start to that right side. So right hand to our hip, left hand to the outside of our right leg. Okay. And then swap. Left hand to our hip, right hand to that leg. Coming back up to standing, take a moment, shake the legs if we need to. And then we're going to alternate lifting the heels. Let's stretch out the toes for just a sec. Hopefully get those feeling good. Feet planted. Now we're just going to alternate lifting the toes, keeping the heels grounded. Good. Feet back to the center, into some heel lifts, calf raises. You can grab the wall if you need to. Let yourself just breathe. Good. And then take a moment. We're going to wiggle. We're going to shake everything out. Awesome. Now we're going to find our way to seated on the mat. So however it works for you to find that nice seated position. So if you need something underneath the hips, bring something underneath our hips. Planting ourselves down. So right leg comes out. Just stays nice and tall, kind of tucking that left foot in. We're just going to slowly walk the hands forward. Maybe start to drop that chest towards the floor here. And just let yourself relax and breathe. Taking your time. If you want, you can also walk those hands over to that right leg if that feels a little bit better. Always an option to grab a towel or a strap or a band and bring it around the bottom of that right foot. Just more as like stability and keeping that leg extended as that chest comes forward. Really, whatever is going to feel good in your body tonight, that's what we're aiming for. Awesome. Let's go to that other side. So send that left leg out. And again, starting to the center. Now you don't have to walk it over to that leg. If you're comfortable staying in the center the whole time, by all means, continue to do that. Again, if you want to, you can walk it over. It's okay if you can't touch the toes. You're like, oh, I don't want you to hurt anything trying to get that hand all the way down to the foot. But let yourself breathe into that stretch. And you can kind of do that combo move too if you want to bring one hand to the leg, keep one hand to the center. However it feels best to get that stretch down the back of your leg. Awesome. So left leg's going to stay out. We're going to take that right leg out as well. Again, kind of plant the seat. Chest stays nice and tall. And then we're going to start to drop that chest forward, or maybe hands to the center, hands back behind us. So again, back of the legs are feeling that stretch. Inner thighs are feeling that stretch. Maybe bringing the chest forward a little bit, reaching through those fingertips. And just relax and breathe here. Let yourself just kind of be in that space. If you need to find some flow here, let yourself find some flow. Find a little movement. Find what's going to feel good to you here tonight or tomorrow or whenever you're catching the replay as well. Good. Let's bring it into our butterfly. So drawing the bottoms of the feet towards each other. Start to bring the heels closer or scoot your seat towards your feet. Whatever's going to feel good. If you need to, you're going to grab a couple of blocks, bring it underneath the knees. Chest stays nice and tall. Drop the shoulders here. And let yourself relax. So the blocks under the knees just kind of, if you have particularly tight hips, is a great option, or bringing a couple of pillows, a rolled up blanket. It just allows your legs to relax so that those hip flexors, the inner thighs, the outer hips, the glutes can all start to kind of settle and relax. It's okay if your knees are up towards your elbows. That's okay too. Remember, we might have had a big travel weekend, or we may have been doing unusual projects. So maybe things are a little bit tighter than we typically see. And that's okay. Not good, not bad. Just might be slightly different. You can always grab water whenever you need that. This is a great one too if you want to add a little bit of movement, circling things around, whatever's going to feel good. Nice. One more nice big breath in and out. All right, we're going to release those legs forward. And then from here, we're going to roll on to our back. So let's roll ourselves all the way down. We're going to bend the knees, bring the feet back towards us. And let's just start with a little bit of flowing bridge. Just start with taking our time. Again, we're opening up those hamstrings, getting into the glutes, getting into our low back. Legs about hip distance apart, kind of squeezing those legs towards the center. We're not doing anything too out of this world or crazy. We're just finding that gentle movement. Good. And then the next time you find your hips up, we're going to hold it here. So pressing the feet in, feeling the hips lift, squeeze through that rear end. Good, nice and slow. Roll the back all the way down, step the feet a little bit wider. Let's take it into some windshield wipers. We're just going to float the legs side to side here. Good. We're going to go one more round of our flowing bridge into hold. And so you need to give yourself a moment, reposition those feet, hip distance apart, knees toward the ceiling. If you want a little bit more into those hamstrings, you're going to plant the heels and lift the toes. Same thing, you're just nice and slow. Roll the low back up and then back down. So upper back and shoulders are going to stay on the floor. You're going to let yourself just breathe and relax here. Wonderful. Same thing. Next time you find those hips lifted, I want you to find that hold. Press those hips up high as you feel comfortable. It's okay if it's not super high. That's not always the goal either. Awesome. Roll the back all the way down. We're going to let both knees come into our chest. Let yourself find a little rock side to side. And then we're going to gently bring those feet back down to the floor. We're going to take that right ankle, cross it over that left leg. So now we're going to bring that right foot towards the floor. So we're going to kind of combine our spinal twist into more of a hip stretch as well. Now, if we can't get that foot all the way to the floor, if that doesn't feel comfortable, grab a block, grab a pillow, and kind of adjust that as you need to. If you can get that foot towards the floor, awesome. Again, not a requirement. If adding that twist doesn't feel good, just keep the knees to the center, kind of gently press the knee open, and let yourself just focus more on that hip stretch. You don't necessarily need to add that twist if that's not feeling good and feeling in our practice tonight. Wonderful. Good. And then we'll draw those legs back to the center, and then we'll switch sides. So left ankle over the top of that right leg. Same thing, we're just going to drop that foot towards that opposite side. And maybe pressing the knee open a little bit to get into that hip, adding that spinal twist as well. Or keeping those knees to the center and bringing more of that focus onto that hip stretch. So it really is always about checking in, seeing what feels good in your body. Just a couple of relaxing breaths in and out here. And then drawing everything back to the center here. And one more time, bringing the knees to our chest, maybe a little rock side to side. I'm going to find some circles here. Circle it in both directions. I'm going to finish with some happy babies. So keeping the knees bent, we're going to draw the legs wide. So hands can either wrap around the outside of the legs, they can come to the inside, come wrapped around the calves, they can come to the feet. What are we looking for? Legs stay kind of wide, feet towards the ceiling, kind of encouraging those knees towards the floor, but again, don't force anything. If it feels better to maybe bring the kind of like a on the back butterfly, you can certainly do that. If it feels better to bring those feet closer together, if it feels better to grab the pants, or even to take it to more of a reclining butterfly. Or if none of those are your jam, just kind of finding those legs up a wall. That's a great stretch as well. Because sometimes this can feel a little awkward. But one more time, we're just kind of getting into those hamstrings, getting into the hips, the glutes, hip flexors, chance to maybe point and flex the feet, kind of hitting all of that lower body spot if that feels good. Awesome. Going to slowly draw those legs back to the center. And let's finish with a nice full body stretch. So we're going to extend the legs, extend the arms, find a little bit of that stretch here. Reach it out. Nice and big. We're going to close with our rest and relaxation. So if you want to stay lying on the back, you certainly can, if that feels better. You can bend the knees. You can keep the legs extended. If it feels better for you to come back up to a nice seated position, that would be another wonderful option too. So again, the point of rest and relaxation is to rest and or relax. So what feels good to you? Do you need to grab a pillow? Need a blanket? Quick sip of water? What's going to feel relaxing to you? so that you can close out your practice feeling restored, feeling maybe a little bit calmer. Just let your eyes close if that feels safe. Let your arms just relax heavy. Let your feet, your legs just kind of sink into the floor, into the mat. And we soften our belly. We just relax the breathing. Let yourself be whatever you need to be, wherever you need to be. Just take a moment and be calm. Be relaxed. So take a moment to come back into our body, back into our space. Maybe that's a little wiggle to the fingers and toes. Maybe that's a big stretch through the arms and the legs, whatever's going to feel good to you. You come back into your body and come back into your space. You just a nice, slow, deep breath in and out. And then as you're ready, from wherever you are, we're going to meet back in a nice seated position. So roll yourself back to seated. Give yourself a moment. Are there any final stretches you want to add, you want to include in your practice? Anything that's going to feel good in the body as you start to head back into your day, whatever that might be. Take a moment, just that final check in with yourself. Maybe it's just sitting quietly, giving yourself a chance to take another couple of deep breaths in and out. And then we're just going to draw those hands through to heart center and just sit in this moment here, just a final moment of gratitude to ourselves for putting on the clothes, unrolling the mat, and doing the class. We'll show some gratitude to our bodies for moving us around in the way that felt best to us tonight. And as always, gratitude to each other for sharing our practice tonight, whether you were with me live or catching the replay. Thank you so much for joining me and rolling with all of the punches of technology. So hope I see everybody on Wednesday. See you all next time.